to take a look back at the week 1 results that had us looking at each other and saying, you can't be serious. I'm, of course, referring back to the great clip of John McEnroe that we all know. And Director Josh has got it for us. So Director Josh is going to be the MVP of this segment. Although that hair might actually be the MVP. Next time I'll get a wig. Let's see, Josh. Let's let the world hear it. You can't be serious, man. What do we got?
You cannot be serious.
God, one more time, Josh. I just want to hear it again.
You cannot be serious.
I need to take that with me, and the next time I'm out in public and somebody's got their cell phone on speakerphone and they're out there, and I'm talking to you. If you're watching this right now, and in fact, if you're at the gym and you've got this on speakerphone, shame on you. Don't turn it off. Just turn the volume down, okay? Like, put your headphones in. If you're out there in the airport.
Put headphones in.
Just headphones. Just headphones.
You cannot be serious.
Josh, I'm gonna keep you on speed dial, and every time somebody's doing that, I'm gonna just text you and be like, "Hey, man," and then we'll just play this. Okay, so we'll go through the week 1 results, and we will figure this out. Josh, hit the sound.
You cannot be serious.
Daniel Jones made history in his Colts debut, and
like the good kind of history too.
Oh, see this dance? This is the he made history dance, and this is the I told you so dance. I don't know what the hell the dance is. I'm just telling you, one person. And I think maybe in all of media, one person has been absolutely planting the Daniel Jones flag and the Colts flag. And what happened? 33-8. That's the final score. In fact, Daniel Jones becomes the first quarterback this century to lead his team to a score on every single possession. Daniel Jones wasn't good. Nay, Daniel Jones was spectacular, and I called it. What do we think was going to happen here? Shane Steichen got his job because he was a great offensive coordinator with a quarterback that has a particular set of skills. Now he gets a quarterback that I think has some of those same skills in a certain way, and you're developing them with somebody that, last time I checked, did go to Duke. He's a pretty smart guy. What do you know? All of a sudden, the Giants fans watched Russell Wilson look like Daniel Jones, while Daniel Jones went out and looked like a world beater. Daniel Jones may not end up being epic, but I think Daniel Jones is set to have a big year. And week 1, he went out and embarrassed the Dolphins. I, Caroline Fenton, am taking my victory lap. McEnroe, give it to me again, McEnroe.
You cannot be serious.
Woo! I'm on one.
I just want everybody to know that Fitz has been on one since we logged on almost 2 hours ago this morning. He's been, singing songs at the break. He's been dancing. He's been cheesing all morning long. I know that we're very beloved Raiders. One. And I know that being able to have this Daniel Jones victory lap has to contribute to it, because I will give you all the credit in the world. I have just been totally poo-pooing anyone's Daniel Jones party. Because every time someone says, I don't know, Daniel Jones, could be good, I say, Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones. That's really all I feel like I can say or have to say. I was wrong. You were right. Week 1. Maybe it has something more to do with the Dolphins than it does Daniel Jones and the Colts. I don't know, but we'll see. It's week 1, and so you can throw your week 1 party, my friend. Josh hit it.
You cannot be serious.
Thank you very much. Jackson Dart was not allowed to speak with the media this past weekend. You cannot be serious, New York Giants. You cannot be serious. I understand that throwing a rookie quarterback to the New York media is like throwing, meat to the wolves. I get it. I understand it. But this isn't college, and we don't hide freshmen from the media anymore. Jackson Dart is a big boy. Jackson Dart makes a whole lot of money to play this game. I don't care if he's the starter. I don't care if he's the backup. I don't care if he's the third string punter. No disrespect to third string punters. The media want to talk to a certain player. They should have every single right to talk to a certain player. I don't think that there should be any sort of kind of sacred goose in this situation. The whole way that Brian Daboll and the Giants organization have been talking about Jackson Dart since the beginning of the season and kind of been hiding Jackson Dart from the media. It all feels very strange and very odd, and I don't understand why. Like, let the guy talk to the media. The media want to talk to the guy who's probably going to be the future franchise quarterback for this organization. I think everybody in New York hopes that he is the future franchise quarterback in that organization. To just hide him away and lock him up and throw away the key and say, no, he's ours, we're keeping him private, feels very, very strange and pretty JV, in my opinion.
So I got into a little bit of a Twitter conversation about this yesterday with one of the guys from the Fan in New York. Because he was saying that, the Giants aren't in the wrong here and that there was nothing to gain for Jackson Dart speaking to a reporter other than a gotcha moment. I disagree with that. And I've really thought about it, and I've tried to be calculated with this. I think there's he was ready to talk, and a reporter was ready to talk to him. I think there's a real opportunity to talk to him about what he's learned, what it felt like to stand on the sideline. What did he take away from a game where he couldn't actually contribute, but he's there with still a role? Like, how has that changed? What has he figured out in the last 2 weeks? How does he feel about his future? What does he still need to develop? Like, these are all important things that I think could have been gathered. We look so much at media now as gotcha. And I understand that there's a huge section of media that is that, but I also think that you do have to at some point look at it and say, what's everybody's job? If Jackson Dart is willing to speak and there's a media personality that wants to speak to him or a journalist that wants to speak to him, sure, they could be out there trying to get him. And Jackson Dart has seen and been around enough football, especially it's not like he came from a small school with no platform. He understands how to handle media, but even through all of it, you can't protect him from the New York media forever. And I do think that there was something valuable that could have been learned. We're sitting here today speculating about what the future of the Giants quarterback position looks like. Would it not be fair to talk to one of the people impacted by that speculation to find out how the speculation impacts him or what he specifically heard he needs to work on, what his path looks like it is, what the trajectory is according to the coaches? Like, there's plenty to be learned if he's willing to talk. And if all he gives you are stock quarterback answers, then great, he did his job. If he gives you a gotcha moment, he'll learn from it. It will pass. But there is a real chance to learn from the player. So I think, honestly, it's a disservice to Giants fans that the Giants didn't make their young quarterback available, Caroline.
It is a disservice to Giants fans. Everyone wants to know Jackson Dart. We have the Football Vibes Index where we rank teams just based off of vibes alone. And I put the Giants' vibes going into this season at the top of the NFL because those fans are so excited about the possibility of Jackson Dart. They have so much optimism over Jackson Dart. If you're the Giants, don't you want to ride as much optimism and positivity as you have? There haven't been a whole lot of optimism and positivity with the New York Giants over the last couple of years. And if you can't trust Jackson Dart to stay out of a got you moment with a reporter, what does that say about your trust in him, period? I will go back to he is a grown man. He is a big boy. He is now a professional quarterback in the city of New York. At some point, you gotta let the baby bird fly the nest. It just feels very strange withholding, any sort of information from the media, any sort of something that fans can grasp onto for their young quarterback.
All right, let's go to the next one. Let's get McEnroe involved again. John, what you got for us?
You cannot be serious.
You cannot. You simply cannot.
You cannot be serious. The Bengals had 7 net yards in the second half versus Cleveland and won. I'm not 100% sure that Joe Burrow wasn't actually killed in the middle of the field by one of the hits he took that's all over social media. The Browns held the Bengals to 7 net yards in the second half and lost that football game. In a game where, frankly, for all the conversation we spent all summer yelling about quarterbacks, Caroline, Joe Flacco played really well. The Browns offense put up the yards. The Bengals defense still looks like trash. The Browns, I cannot believe Cleveland found a way to lose that football game.
It does feel like, everyone in Cincinnati can kind of breathe a sigh of relief that the week 1 and early season bugaboos at least have been solved for this week. But I don't think anyone in Cincinnati feels that great about what they saw against the Browns. I mean, I think that was more so the Bengals just were able to beat a lousy Browns team and look lousy in the process. Like, yes, you're 1-0 in Cincinnati, and in the National Football League, that is all that matters. By any means necessary, whatever it takes, the ugly wins count just the same as the really flashy wins. The Green Bay Packers are 1-0, just like the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't feel any better about the Cincinnati Bengals coming out of that game, even in a win. It feels like the slow starts, the rough offense that we are accustomed to seeing from the Bengals in week one continued. The outcome is just different. So it's hard to feel how to feel here about the Bengals. Yeah, you won, but you did not look very good in the process.
Yeah, and isn't the whole reason that Joe Burrow put himself at risk in the preseason, taking some hits we thought were questionable, was because they wanted to have a better rhythm going into week one, and then they had no rhythm. If Cleveland's going to be out looking for a new kicker. There's no doubt, as they were absolutely their kicker was the demise of this game. They should have won it, and it's heartbreaking for Browns fans. But to your point, I actually walked away from this game feeling better about the Browns than I thought I would, and worse about the Bengals than I thought I would. And that's just because of the way this game looked and the game script that happened on it. Joe Flacco played really well. I really was impressed by Joe Flacco. So we'll see what that means. Let's get McEnroe involved for one more. Come on, John.
You cannot be serious.
I will take the floor here, Fitzy, because I have been saying just that from our friend John McEnroe as it pertains to this story since the moment I found out about it. Bill Belichick, hey, UNC won. Congratulations to Bill and the Tar Heels there. So after North Carolina's win over Charlotte on Saturday, Bill Belichick addressed the media and said, quote, "It is clear that I am not welcome in New England at their facility, so they are not welcome at ours." Of course, in response to the fact that Patriots scouts and anyone in the New England Patriots organization is not welcome to come scout at North Carolina practices or games. Like, are you kidding me? Bill Belichick, you cannot actually be serious. And this is even compounded coming just days after Robert Kraft spoke with the media and said, "We would love to build a statue for Bill Belichick. We would love to have him back here for a ceremony and to celebrate him, the amount of celebration that he deserves for winning 6 Super Bowls in New England." Robert Kraft is saying, hey, look, yeah, come on back, Bill. Sorry it didn't end well. Sorry it didn't work out in the end, but we still had a lovely time together. Meanwhile, Bill Belichick is prioritizing his own personal vendettas against Robert Kraft and the New England Patriots rather than actually building a football program. That it seems like he is far more concerned with sticking it to the Kraft family than he is actually winning games at North Carolina. He is actively doing his players a disservice when he is shutting out NFL scouts from seeing the potential talent on his roster. If I'm any sort of kid that has any sort of NFL aspirations, why would I go play for Bill Belichick when he would actively be hurting my chances at getting drafted into the National Football League? You have got to be kidding me. Bill Belichick, someone who placed importance on winning more than any other coach that we had seen in the NFL, now all of a sudden is being petty, doesn't care as much about winning, doesn't care about developing his players more than he cares about getting a leg up on the New England Patriots. Like, you have got to be kidding me. It's embarrassing.
The very man that made On to Cincinnati famous is still hung up on his ex, and his ex is the Patriots. All right, they've got a surprise for us. I don't know what this is going to be, but they've got a surprise for us. So.
You cannot be serious.
Oh my God. That's good. I don't care what you say.
Oh my gosh, that's
good.
Incredible. Fitz, you need to go get a perm today. Soon as you possibly can. Run to the hair salon, get a perm, get a headband, and show up tomorrow like that because you look fantastic in that photo. My goodness.
If I didn't already know what my Halloween costume was going to be for this show, I would come as John McEnroe. But I've already figured it out, and I'm not veering that. But so John McEnroe is now in the conversation. That would be Jason McEnroe or John McEnfitz. I don't know. Either way, I like
we'll
John
workshop
McEnfitz. Okay.
Jason
McEnfitz?
McEnfitz?
Jason McEnfitz? That feels pretty good. All right.